Hi, friends. As you can imagine, I've been thinking about the reopening of the church whenever that happens, and what the church, not just LAUMC, but the church, the big church in the world, will be when we come back after this experience of this pandemic. Pope Francis, at the very beginning of this epidemic time, talked about the church being a field hospital. A hospital that is out in the world where people are being wounded and hurt. And I ran across a piece of writing by a Czechoslovakian priest, a Jesuit priest, who is also a philosopher. His name is Tomáš Halík. And he kind of talked more about what would it mean for the church to be a field hospital in this time. And he said, now that we've been through this experience in the world, the whole world together, that the church as a field hospital has some different responsibilities, some work that is different than simply caring for people as it has always done. He said the work has diagnostic work to do, meaning the church's work is to identify the signs of the times around it. That's part of what it means to be a field hospital at this time. He said the church has preventive work to do, meaning to create an immune system in a society when there are lots of things that really travel through us like viruses. Hatred and fear, excessive nationalism, things that destroy us as people. Perhaps the church can be part of the work of creating an immune system, an immunity system to all of that. And then the church has a convalescent role, meaning part of its work is to help people overcome their traumas of the past, this experience and others. And that will happen, he says, through forgiveness. He says, we need to take new and old things from the treasure house of tradition that we have been entrusted with, and make them part of a dialogue with people we have never been in conversation with before. People who have never wanted anything to do with the church. He goes on and he quotes something that Pope Francis said on the day before he was elected to be Pope. Pope Francis, who wasn't Pope then, said, maybe when we think about and imagine Christ standing at the door and knocking, we ought to imagine him knocking from inside the church, wanting not to get into the church, but to get out of the church and to live through all of us in a larger world where the church's work is bigger and it is outside the doors of the church. I think that's what we at LAUMC think about all the time. But what might that look like in the days and weeks and months and even years ahead of us? Those are the kinds of things I'm thinking about these days, and I want to invite you into those thoughts with me. Help me think about what might the church be, and what different work might it have in the days ahead. Thanks for thinking with me about that. Take good care, stay safe. Remember, we are all in this together. And best of all, as John Wesley would say, God is with us.